Hi guys, welcome back to another video. My name is Ina and I'm here on this bright Monday to talk to you about my not so popular type of orchids, the ones that I own, that I have inside my house, what's going on with them. It's gonna be basically a review of my collection. Some of them you have never seen before, others I've shown you because they were in bloom at some point, or because there was something that I want to talk about and that they were good examples. Why I'm doing this video? Because I've posted a poll in my community last week asking you which type of content you'd like to see the most, and I think 70% of people voted to see my collection of not so popular orchids, which is great because I thought you only want to see content about the kind of things that we find easily and they are available everywhere. So it would be fun, a little bit different to talk about these plants. Some of them I'm not very lucky with, others I haven't seen bloom yet. So let's start exploring. I have my phone here because it's an extensive list. I have some of them here in front of me that are just a bunch of green leaves, but I also have others in some of the shelving. But I will give you some close-ups. You're going to see some B-rolls as well. And let's see my not so popular orchids, shall we? I like to try new things. There are a few orchids that I found for sale, that I found locally as well, believe it or not. And I decided to give them a go for various different reasons. So I'll start with my Bulbophyllum collections. I think Bulbophyllum is the kind of orchid some people know about, others don't know very well about them. Apparently their flowers, they don't last for a long time. Some of their flowers can smell very, very badly, like rotten meat or something similar to it. So that's the reason why some people avoid Bulbophyllums, but there are some orchid collectors that like them. Anyway, I don't think they are the most popular orchids out there. They are also very unruly. They grow out of the pot, as we're gonna see in this post. What happened to my Bulbophyllums? None of them have bloomed for me, never ever. I have one of them is quite old in my collection. I think it's because of the light, and lately, this, the biggest one, got attacked by pests as well. But something else, they actually grow well. Vegetatively, I have no issues growing Bulbophyllum. From the moment that they settle inside the pot, they get used to your house, they will do well. The only issues with Bulbophyllum, at least that I've faced, is that their roots are very sensitive as well to repotting. So when you repot, you tend to lose most roots. But let me tell you which ones I own. And as I said, I'm not going to be able to tell you how the blooms are, or if they are fragrant, or if they smell bad, or something similar to that. I know that they are interesting. So I have here, I'm going to start with the one that's in front of me so it's easier and I can play. So this one, it's the tiniest that I have in my collection and it's called the Bulbophyllum mastercianum. This one I saved. It was one of these hauls with lots of orchids that were dying and this one survived. I think it was one of maybe 12 that survived. I'm not sure. So that was the second Bulbophyllum that I acquired. I'm so happy that it's growing healthily. It's full of root tips here and it still fits inside this round-shaped pot. The second one that I have in here is my Bulbophyllum eberhartii. Okay, you will see the name here on the screen. So this one is the first one that I bought. I like the umbrella flowers and how they supposedly will look like someday. I hope it will bloom for me. I am not sure. I have it for so long and never decide to push out a flower spike. The third Bulbophyllum is sitting in my bedroom under the Barrina Growing lights. It's a different environment from these two. It's growing super well vegetatively, but it's not growing so well in terms of bloom. I haven't seen any bloom yet. It's grown completely out of the pot. It's very unruly at the moment. I need to do something about it. And I haven't told you the name yet. So this one is my Bulbophyllum Elizabeth and Puckleberry. This is a very classic, I think, hybrid. From all of the ones that I told you, I think this is the most common. I bought it in the UK as well, but this one came from an orchid nursery, normal price. The only one that was discounted was this one because it was dying. And I managed to save it, so points for these. Now let's go to the second genus of orchid that I actually own more than one in this list. And I think these are the ones that are a little bit more popular than others. So it's the Angraecum again. The Angraecums, they are not very common for orchid collectors, especially for people who has orchids inside their homes. But the daring orchid, the famous comet orchid, that one is, I think, the most famous Angraecum. I don't own this one. I lost it. I think I have a full video only about Angraecums. So I'm not going to go super deep, but you can definitely watch that video. I have 2 Angraecums in my collection, I think. This one is my Leonis. Not my Leonis, oh my god, my Magdalenia. Anyway, this is a seedling. I bought it on eBay and was pretty cheap. I need to repot immediately. It's not doing well in this pot, and that's actually my fault. So the second one that I have is the Leonis, and the Leonis is pretty cute. The leaves, they look like a succulent plant. It's a little bit different from other orchids, and this one is doing super well. I have that for many years as well. I bought it from Europe, and it has grown a bit. It struggled in the beginning as well. I noticed that the roots, they didn't adapt so well to the repotting, but now it's completely adapted and is simply surviving, pushing out new leaves, and hopefully one day I'll see a Angraecum flower. I've never seen an Angraecum in bloom. Inside my house is my Angraecum, not my Angraecum. Oh my gosh, what's happening to me today? I'm tired. Is my Iranges articulata. So this one is a species, is from Africa, I think Madagascar. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But is the biggest Iranges that I've seen in my life. I've had miniature of Iranges before. I lost all of them. But this one is the one who have bloomed for me twice. It has been growing amazingly. It's a super healthy plant. Unfortunately, since I repotted, it got attacked by pests as well. So I think for this reason, it got a little bit stressed. You can see me grazing is in here, and I pushed out a cakey, but it's growing and it's very, very healthy. So I'm glad. I love these Iranges. Do you have any Iranges? I love the flowers. They don't live for a long time. They are very short-lived. You're gonna have it for maybe a week only. They are fragrant during the night time. I don't like the fragrance. I hate it. But not because it's bad, it's because I'm sensitive to fragrances. And this one is the kind of fragrance that I don't like. But if you love fragrance, I think you would love this one. And I love the shape of the flowers. I think they are so elegant. They are so beautiful. And this is one of the plants that I super recommend and I will always have in my collection. So the next one I bought from a orchid project here in the UK. I think they are like an orchid school. And young people will learn about orchids and how I think to flask or create seedlings from orchids. I don't know how to pronounce the name of this project here, but I will put the name on the screen. And they sell seedlings, and the seedlings are not very expensive whatsoever. Usually when they post these plants, if they're still selling, it's been a while, but last time when I bought from them, they were selling on Etsy. I haven't checked lately, so I don't know if they're still selling orchids in there, but I bought these from them to try to see. Usually they don't have the most popular orchids apart from some dendrobiums. They have mostly species, some hybrids, but not the most popular one. So it's great if you want to support a project and have some new orchids to try. So this one is Celogenes ovalis brown. And I've shown this one before because the flowers, they look like bee. For me, they look like an insect, a yellow insect. And this plant is a very healthy plant, very unruly as well. It will grow everywhere around the pot. Tends to be healthy orchid, pretty easy to look after. And it push out many small flowers and they look like an insect. There is nothing much that I can say about this plant, just that it doesn't need super bright light to be able to bloom. It blooms with the same lights that I offer to my Phalaenopsis, which is great and amazing. And more than that, it's not a super thirsty plant either, although the leaves are pretty thin. I think because of the bulbs, It's quite resistant and it's one of my healthiest orchids. Although it has some grazings on its leaves, that's because of pests. But more than that, it will bloom in 2 different directions of growth, and I'll have to repot it soon because it's growing all over the pot. Next one here is my pink Masdevallia No ID. I still own one Masdevallia that is simply the one who is resisting there, that's not going, it's not dying. I'm so proud of my Masdevallia. Don't think it will last long. It's also my fault. I haven't had enough time to devote to this plant and to figure out how to grow it properly. I lost my Guinea, so I have only one Masdevallia. This one push out pink flowers. It's beautiful, it's gorgeous. However, it's not doing well. It's hanging in there, but it's not doing well. Now, 2 other plants that I've mentioned before when I was talking, plants that I don't think are the easiest for us orchid growers to grow. These are the Trichopilias. I have 2 Trichopilias. I think I have one here in front of me. That's the Trichopilia tortilis. That's a species, and I bought from a seller here in the UK that I will not recommend because I didn't like the plants, and I tried twice and I didn't like the state of the plants. But I know that lots of people love them, so that's totally on me, maybe, I don't know. But that's the Trichopilia tortilis, and I have that for a long time. It was also attacked by pests as everything else. I don't know. It's hanging in there, but it never done much. It never grown super well. It have never pushed out flowers. So I'm sad because this one is quite a compact Trichopilia, and I love Trichopilia flowers. I think they are gorgeous. It's one of these orchids that I would love to have. I'd love to have a collection of them if they decide to do well for me and to bloom and rebloom. When I figured that out, I might get another one. But I can say that this one specifically is resilient because it's hanging in there with a ton of pests, never died, never decided to grow much, but it's hanging there. And the other one is my Trichopilia marginata. And the Trichopilia marginata push out, it's a much larger plant, push out beautiful red flowers. I love them so much. But this plant, this one is, first of all, super large orchid. Secondly, it's, as you can see, the pseudobulbs are completely wrinkled. It has never performed super well. And I think something with my culture is how I'm growing them. So they are not the most resistant plants, I would say. But that's my Trichopilia marginata. Now let's go to the Pleurothalli. So I have 2 Pleurothallis actually. One of them you probably know very well. That's the Anfracta, because I've done that unboxing with 30 orchids that were dying or something, like not 30, 15. I'm doubling up. I told you I'm tired today. So I have that's like known as the black orchid. It's still there, but could be a little bit better. What happened is push out a keiki, and I think I lost the keiki because I tried to push, the roots were not touching the potting mix. So from my experience with the other Pleurothallis that I have, they tend to push out a ton of keikis. The other one is a much bushier plant, is the Restripioids. That's this one. So I have this one for a while as well. It was under my shelving with the same lights that I offer my Coelogene, but this one had never bloomed and also got attacked by pests as everything else. Instead of pushing out flower spikes, is pushing out lots of leaves. It has always some leaf and always have some keikis, and on top of the keikis we have other keikis, so quite a different pattern of growth. I've seen some of these flowers online and they look very cute. However, so far I've never seen a flower from these Pleurothallis yet, and this one was a seller that I bought some orchids from, and it sent it as a gift, or as a bonus plant. So amazing. I'm so glad for that. At least I could try a Pleurothallis before I got the second one. I swear to you, this video is very long already. We are almost there. So I have only more 2 plants to show you. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, leave a comment down below. Let me know which type of content would you like to see here, what would you like to see next. And more than that, I intend to do some reportings maybe this week or next week. I don't know yet. But let's continue this video. I promise you we are almost there. So the next one is my dendrochilon. I do have one dendrochilon. This one I bought in an orchid, in a garden center here actually. And I knew it was a dendrochilon. It's quite specific. When we look at the leaves, they are big plants, and the pattern, how the leaves and the pseudobulbs are formed. And I potted in this big pot, this big clay pot. It's sitting on one of my brightest windows here. It's a massive plant, push out so many growths and so many leaves. And the pests were basically crawling there because it's so difficult to treat. I tried to treat this plant so many times, but because of the amount of pseudobulbs and leaves, it's quite hard to get everywhere. I think now it is clean, and hopefully that's what was preventing, because I saw some flower spikes that were formed and couldn't develop, and I think that was because of the pests as well. So the same story. I have no idea which dendrochilon this is because I bought it for sale in this garden center here in London without flowers. I don't know if I would have a whole collection of dendrochilon, but I can't wait to see one in bloom. Must be super cute to see that pendant or inflorescence that comes from the orchid. And that's also one of the not so common orchids that you could grow in your home. And let's talk about the last one. The last one I unboxed recently. You have seen it. So it is my Angoloa virginalis crossed with Lycast citriophora. That's a very difficult name. This one is a cool to intermediate orchid, and it lost all of its leaves since I unboxed it. I haven't repotted yet, but I will do it soon because now it doesn't have any leaves, so it's my time to do the whole process while it is still dormant or not push out in new growth and then start producing new roots. So I think that would be the right time. I don't know much about this plant. What I know is that it usually, like Lycastus, will lose all of its leaves and will push out a new growth. And then in the next season, it will push hopefully even taller pseudobulb, and it might even push out a flower spike. I can't wait to see it because, again, it's something super different, and I'm so excited to learn more about some of these orchids. Some of them are a little bit easier, others a little bit more difficult, but nonetheless, I think that's the fun of growing orchids and of this hobby, is that they can be quite complex sometimes, and some of them are easier, and when we get it right, at least for me, it's like I feel like, yeah, I accomplished it, I got it, I can do it, I'm growing it, I'm offering the right the fertilizer, water, light, and all that. So these are my short collection of not so common orchids. Let me know if you own any of these, which one is your favorite, and if you have any tips for me how to bloom these orchids for the first time. That's it. I hope to see you next time. I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you did, please subscribe to my channel, hit the like button, and until Thursday, bye bye.